Congressman Ron Paul, presidential candidate, thanks for giving us a chance to get to know you a little bit. Wanted to ask you about your very first job, which according to your wife of 50 years, was when you were 5 and had to do with finding dirty bottles on the farm. Explain that to me.
Well, we lived in a 4-room house. There were 5 boys, but in our basement was a dairy. And they would bring the milk in from the farmers, and we pasteurized it and bottled it. Bottles were washed by hand, and my 2 uncles washed those bottles. One uncle was better than the other ones, but we got paid a penny a bottle for a dirty one. That we were the inspectors. We were the first bottle inspectors around. You know, we didn't need the federal government to give us the EPA. You know, but if you could find a spot, then we got paid for it. So it was a incentive system, and most of the brothers and I did that.
And also hearing via your wife that you were a runner in high school, that you ran against somebody who went on to be in the Olympics, that you were sidelined by a knee injury. Do you think without that you could have made it to the Olympics?
Well, in my mind, I have to think that because, you know, in high school, and matter of fact, I had the bad knee injury as a junior, so I had won a couple state meets as a junior, and thought I had been offered scholarships and everything, but back in those days, the knee surgeries weren't very good. The knee surgeries made things worse. So to me, that was always a great disappointment that I wasn't able to do that. I did run later on, but never was quite able to do it because today, knee surgery is so fantastic. With scopes, and they could have taken care of those cartilages and all that. So that has always been a disappointment.
I also heard you were voted friendliest and best all around in high school. So if that vote were taken in Congress right now, who would be voted friendliest and best all around?
Well, I don't know. I probably wouldn't win. Who knows? But I don't know. I'd like to think that people thought I was friendly, but if they wanted to vote me for, in the conventional wisdom of are you effective, like how many pieces of legislation did you pass last year, and have you moved up the ranks of seniority, I wouldn't do so well. But I'd like to think that I'd be voted friendly and effective enough that I work with more coalitions than the average person, because I work closely with anybody that agrees on these issues. Like auditing Fed was a bipartisan issue. You know, a lot of Democrats and a lot of Republicans. And
since we're on the subject of friendliest, and you do sort of work across party lines, you know libertarians, you know Republicans, you know Democrats, who would throw the best party?
The best party? Mm-hmm. Well,
who has the most fun of all those groups?
Gee, I don't know. I think of parties by family. I think my most fun is when my family's together and we can get out.
Well, you have enough family for it. Tell us about your family.
Well, we have 5 children, 18 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren. So we have a big family, but we do get together, and that's where we have the fun parties.
And finally, Father's Day coming up. Got that big family. Your grandfather, you're a great-grandfather. What's your ideal Father's Day gift?
Probably just having them around. You know, most of the grandchildren call me Granddaddy Ron, but I have a new great-grandson that he's short, and he just calls me G-Ron. So
that's very new now, G-Ron.
Oh, okay.
I like it a lot. Well, whoever you're with, have a very happy Father's Day.
And thank you so
much for giving us a chance to get to know you.
Appreciate it.
Congressman Ron Paul.